Welcome to SiGMATV. Today we have an interview about the most exciting aspect of online casinos, how the games are made. With us we have Sekula, who is head of games at Kalamba. Kalamba grew from a game studio to a fully fledged technological supplier. Andy, thank you for joining us today. So, Kalamba has grown from a game studio to a technological supplier. How did this development come about?
It was based on our needs and on our ambitions to grow not only as a game developer, but also more general as a technology company.
And how can developers work more closely with operators?
There are various ways developers can work closely with operators, and there are obvious advantages of that because it's a kind of mutual. Obviously, there are lots of benefits of working between operators and suppliers on the commercial level, but also there's a big part of mutual learning.
I would imagine that different operators have different requirements, sort of. So is there one-size-fits-all approach? How do you cater for the different necessities and needs?
Yeah, I would say it's totally not one-size-fits-all because operators have different modus operandi. That's like the first thing, and the ways they collaborate with suppliers. And one of the most important factor when collaborating with operator is catering for the needs of the players.
Of course. And obviously, I mean, you have great experience in catering for specific operators, which in turn cater for particular players, particular market segments. What have you learned from this whole process? Is there, I don't know, a special insight to be gained, some, tips or?
Yeah, first thing that we learned is that the market is very dynamic and players' tastes can change rapidly. And there are various reasons to that, but one of the key factors is that operators are the ones that have closest contact with the players. Exactly, and that's where we can benefit a lot because we learn quite unique things and unique tastes of the players.
So have you seen a difference in the way that you work or create concepts from when you were working as a game studio to now that you are collaborating more closely with different operators? Have you seen like a difference in the way you work?
Yes, and there are various reasons to that. And one of the reasons that the mode of collaboration could vary between the operators is the trust that is built over time between operators and suppliers, and with particular operator can have different expectations, and one operator can have an expectations that they will work more closely with us. They will feel more comfortable looking at our progress and have more frequent status meetings. And there are operators with whom we worked closely for some time already, and which results in build trust over time, and I would say more leeway toward some solutions.
Of course, as the relationship grows stronger, one would imagine.
Exactly.
Have you ever been surprised by the reaction to a particular game that you produced? Maybe you thought that players wanted something, but then it turns out that it was something different. Well, have you ever been encountered anything unexpected?
Yes, obviously, and that's an interesting question because such things happened not so long ago, where we were like fully prepared with specific design of the game, and based on our research and expectations, we were pretty confident that the game design we're presenting is a solid one. But when we started more frequent discussions with an operator, it turned out that actually tastes of the players like shifted dramatically.
Wow.
And that was a point we had to pivot. Yeah, and I believe it was a good decision, and something again we learned about how dynamic tastes can change.
So you have to adapt really fast according to what you find out, basically.
Yes,
the player
exactly.
is king, I guess.
Yes, and the market is very dynamic.
Yes, clearly. Would you have any advice to give to any other game studios who are considering, following the same road as you guys?
Mm-hmm. I think that most practical, or I find the key advice here would be to be open-minded, be willing to discuss and share ideas and learn from each other, and be ready to pivot if the market needs us to.
Would you say that operators also benefit from this close working relationship with suppliers such as yourselves?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I deeply believe they do. And as I've mentioned earlier, it's a process of mutual learning. So in addition to all the commercial benefits we saw when we can, for example, share the cost of game development, there is also the component of shared knowledge. And for example, there are some operators that are very interested in some more granular data and analytics, which would give a better view of how we can improve the game and how we can iterate on further titles.
So basically, in a way, you help them learn more about the players' expectations and needs.
Yes, exactly, through both qualitative tests and quantitative data.
What about COVID-19? Has it created any new challenges for you and for the market?
Yes, obviously the first challenge we saw internally is that most of the time we work from home, obviously. So that's one thing. The other thing is that market is switched already quite rapidly, because there were and there are a lot of players that were mainly playing in land-based casinos, which were closed, and some of them are still closed, and this created a rapidly growing online market, because those players had to find some entertainment substitutes. Yes, which also means that since they started moving rapidly, this created in general created a shift in what players expect and what's that they really like.
The profile kind of changed, I guess.
Exactly.
It evolved.
Yes.
So yeah, it's dynamic in more ways than one, I guess, the market.
Yes, that's true.
So let's get a bit personal. Do you have a favorite Kalamba game? And if you do, what makes it a favorite?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. And like the first game that pops to my mind is Duck Still Dawn game. And yeah, it was quite a special game. And actually, this was a game we collaborated closely on with Kindred. And initially, the game was released exclusively on Unibet for 3 months. And then it was launched globally. And the game was quite interesting because there was a bit of innovation in the game, but it also created a kind of UX challenge. And the challenge was that one of the core mechanics, or we just thought that one of the core mechanics can actually be a bit annoying to some of the slots players. And it's because there are some ducks moving behind the reels, and it's not something that regular slots player might have expected. Yes, exactly. But it turned out that it was quite successful launch, both initially on Unibet and then globally.
Yeah, I know many players who love this game, so clearly the experiment worked.
Yes, it did.
But I also hear that you have some exciting news to share with us, and that Kalamba has something quite innovative in the pipeline. So what's next? Can you give us a sneak peek?
Based on our own research and our insights, and our learning about what's currently hot on the market, we plan to release a game that is quite special because it will also be our 50th game.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and it's feature packed and packed in a way that is well organized. Yes, and based on our research on the players' personas, we find it very likely that this will be a game that will be enjoyed by many players.
Can you give us the name, or is it too early?
Yes, I can give you a name.
Yay.
And the game is called Age of Huracan.
Okay.
And when it comes to the theme, it's a kind of mix between Mayan, so a kind of tribal elements, and some fantasy elements.
That sounds super cool, yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we have something to look forward to from Kalamba there. Thank you so much, Andy. It was good to chat.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching SiGMA TV.